Greetings Marines, FiOth here, and in this video we will be modding the new Type 7 CQB pistol. I am really torn about this one. I'm not really feeling it, guys. It's not like my initial thoughts on the Fireball or what I was like, nope. I know some of you disagree, and I'd like to hear why you disagree in the comment section below. And don't just come to me saying the damage is insane because numbers state otherwise. I need some proof. But the burst pistol that we got is not a gun that is bad, like out of the box. It doesn't feel that good though. The burst pistol that we already had feels much better than this one. The way I'm gonna go about this is try to make what it does a bit better, adding as much utility to it as possible, and I'm gonna try to mitigate what's problematic about it and make it more functional. So let's start with a couple of facts that people are probably not aware of. This pistol is not a single pull firing tool. It can fully automatically lay down fire if you hold the trigger like this. There is a misunderstanding that people just assume that you have to tap the trigger to fire, but the gun is actually fully automatic. You can just lay on it. This is one of its best selling points because you can be more accurate if you only have to compensate for enemy movement instead of always having to even possibly think that you have to pull the trigger again to deal damage again. So let's see what we can do to make this better. Mark 7 Mod 2 CQB pistol, machine pistol, automatic burst, accuracy of 73, stability of 74, damage is 198, pretty substantial, reload time of 1.5, max ammo 480, stable charge of 15, fire rate of 13.3, magazine capacity of 48, weak point damage of 150, that's base, and handling bonus of 5. On the star chart we get plus 5 stability on the first one, plus 5 on the second one, plus 5% handling on the third one, and plus 1 aim assist and range on shot. This effect stacks 5 times, resets on reload. For a weapon that fires in bursts, of course, this will be maxed out on the first couple of bursts that you fire, and then you enjoy the benefits for the rest of the magazine. That is a 48 max run. Pretty good stuff on paper. Now, when it came to muzzles, I went ported compensator because I want to improve that fire rate, not too much because the weapon will kick like a mule, but I also need as much stability as I can afford, and this is pretty much perfect. I try to think out of the box here, but what's to do with a gun that has shed crit and moves around like nobody's business? You have to stabilize it, you have to make it fire faster, so you can take advantage of the inherent high damage output. Now for magazines, here we have a couple things that work really well. You have to make a choice between making this your main damage dealing weapon or making this a utility weapon. And because for me this thing can never turn into a heavy working weapon like the Type 95, I went with inhibitor rounds, even more stability, even more max ammo, 20% chance on hit to slow enemies by 25% for 6 seconds. Because it fires in bursts, you have a 20% chance on every bullet coming out of this thing. You're pretty much guaranteed to get one proc in 2 bursts, I'll say. Now for the small optics, you can't really go wrong with this because you can get hollow sight and make use of the stumble that it has inherently. Also will help you with the accuracy, minimizing the spread of the cone by a certain extent. But what I think you want to do here is go with the microdot, and I'm going to explain why. It improves your effective range by a respectable amount. It gives you accuracy to shrink the cone, as we stated, but it also allows you a plus 10% damage, minus 10% fire rate when standing still. On Extreme Insane, where you don't want to be walking around all the time, this plus 10% damage is going to help you because you will be standing still, avoiding friendly fire, and the reduction in fire rate in these cases you will make it that much more accurate because you will not be firing as fast and the reticle will not be blooming as fast. Now granted, if you really go full auto on this thing, there is no saving you because, as I'm going to demonstrate right here, it blooms like a bloody rose. Check this out. No matter how you mod it, no matter what you do, it will always bloom. I used the doctor to demonstrate what would happen if you had well modded stems. So I stem, and as you can see, it's more controllable, but it still isn't pinpoint accurate. What we gotta take away from this is that you can never make this thing a surgical tool. It's always gonna be waved around and shoot all over the place in the general direction where you aim. We're not gonna talk about distance, like there's no way you're going to use this over distance, but it is serviceable because it has very high inherent damage. I'm gonna show you a comparison with the Type 78. As you can see here, the damage of the Type 78 is 315, about 1/3 of the damage more. Fire rate is much lower though, even modded, and the weapon is not full auto. It is crit reliant when compared to the Mark 7, so it is a much more precision demanding tool. If you ask me, the Type 78 is a better weapon, but that's personal preference because this can be made to work as well, and I think many people out there are gonna try to use it and make the best of it. Let me know your thoughts about this thing in the comment section below, guys. You know, I always appreciate your opinion on things. And jump by the stream so we can discuss these things even more. Today is Monday. We will be streaming at the usual time. Consider getting a membership on the channel or visit my Patreon if you want to help me out. And until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection, Marines. Cheers.